Well, friends, it's time for Summer Sunday School. We're going to talk about our neighbors and serving our neighbors. And in the Bible, in Luke 10, Jesus taught us a story about loving our neighbors. So we're going to do that here with this little board that I have and a few little stick puppets that I made. This should be fun. Okay, are you ready? All right, here we go. One day, Jesus was talking to a man about God's command to love your neighbor as yourself. And the man asked Jesus, "Well then, who is my neighbor?" And Jesus answered the man's question by telling a story. Jesus' story happened on the road to Jericho. The road went up and down and around these hills, and people who traveled the road had to be very careful of robbers hiding in the hills. See these hills? Well, so here's the story about this man right here. There was a man traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. He hurried past one hill and another and another and another, and then it happened. Some robbers jumped out and grabbed him, and they tore off his clothes and beat him and took all his money. And they left the man lying on the side of the road. The poor man was so hurt. He couldn't get up. He couldn't do anything. All he could hope for was someone to come along and help him. And then he heard footsteps. Someone was coming. The man turned his head and saw a priest. He knew priests taught people about God, and he was sure that the priest would help him. But you know what the priest did? He looked at the hurt man, and he just walked on the other side of the road and didn't even stop to help him. The poor man, he thought, "Oh no, I hope someone else comes by to help me." And then he heard footsteps, and there was someone else coming by. It was a Levite. Oh, the hurt man turned and looked at the Levite, and he thought, "Oh, I'm sure the Levite would help me," because you know what? The Levite taught the people about God's laws. So if he taught about God's laws, surely he would help him. But you know what the Levite did? He saw the hurt man, didn't stop to help him, walked on the other side of the road, and kept on going. He thought, "Is anyone going to help me?" The poor hurt man was getting later and later in the day, and then he heard the clippity-clop of a donkey. The hoofbeats were getting closer and closer. Someone was coming. Maybe this person, make this closer for you, maybe this person would help. The man on the donkey stopped, and he got off of his donkey, and he looked at the hurt man, and he put some bandages on the hurt man, and he took the hurt man and put him on his donkey. Now I have to tell you something, because this is what Jesus tells us in Luke 10. This man right here, he was called a Samaritan. He was from the town or the place in Israel called Samaria. And the people that are called Samaritans don't usually do anything or even say hi or help someone that was a Jew, like this man who was hurt. Usually they're called enemies. They don't talk to each other. They don't do anything. They don't even go to the countries that they visit. So anyway, this Jew, this man who was hurt, was very, very surprised that it was a Samaritan that actually would help him. But he did. He put him on his donkey. See if we can get him on his donkey. And then he took him. We're going to have to go this way so that my hand can reach, okay? So he took him all the way to the town, and he took him to an inn. And he put him in the inn and asked the innkeeper to watch over him and take care of him. He even paid him money to have the innkeeper take care of him. So he came back after his journey because the Samaritan had to go on his journey to where he was going. Oops, he should be riding his. There we go. And then he came back the next day and checked on this man too. I thought that was really nice of him. Now, Jesus told us this story for a reason. He always tells stories for a reason. And he asked the people that had asked him the question, who is my neighbor, and which of the neighbors should I help? So Jesus said, which one of the neighbors, which one of the people in this story helped the hurt man? Well, was it the priest? No. Was it the Levite? No. Was it the Samaritan, his enemy? Yes, it was. So then Jesus said these words. He said, go and do likewise. Do the same thing. So the Samaritan acted as if the hurt man were his neighbor. And Jesus told this story to help us understand that if we love God, we should show it by loving all kinds of people. So that was our story called The Good Samaritan. I'm sure you've heard of that from Luke 10. And I sent you a little worksheet in the mail that you can circle the answers, have Mom and Dad read it to you so that you can know which ones to circle, and I'm sure you can figure it out from the story. And I also sent you a card that you can color for Daddy for Father's Day on Sunday. Have fun with those activities, and thank you for listening to my story about the Good Samaritan and about serving our neighbors. And you can even talk to Mom and Dad or Grandma and Grandpa about how you could serve your neighbors. They always have great ideas. Love you guys. Have a wonderful week, and make sure that you make your dad or the man in your life feel very, very special on Sunday. Bye-bye.